All right, boom. We back. We back. We back. We back. We back. We back. We
Hola,
back.
good morning.
Good
This is an
morning.
early morning
Yeah, for our
episode.
listeners, we usually don't record this early. This is a little early for us. It's a Saturday.
Yeah.
Getting it in.
Yeah,
How
it's
was
mostly just the wake and bake eyes, I think.
oh, I'm definitely off a little Captain Crunch for sure. Definitely off a little Captain Crunch. Smoked the bowl
Right,
this
right.
morning. Uh you had a gig not too long ago. I saw that looks kind of cool. I don't know where you was at.
Ooh, was it like the one from the other day?
Yeah.
That was at the Hoxton. For the local folks as well as those who aren't local, there's a really cool, I would say, gallery slash platform known as AMFM, an art gallery slash platform. And the founder, Sierra McKissick, she has been doing for a little while now. Like we're in season two of a like an AMFM live TV show kind of concept where everybody come out and like she interviews a couple guests as like a performer, DJ instead of a live band, but still operates in a similar way. It's been cool. I did one earlier this year around Expo weekend, the big art exhibition in Chicago. And then I just did one leading into the holiday season. Hopefully, if she does one more before the year's over or the season's over, I come back again. It's been fun though. It
That's what's
definitely
up.
was a good vibe. We had an artist, I believe her name was Hope Yang. Pardon me, forgive me if I did get that wrong, but I believe it was Hope Yang. I know it was Hope something. She was a sick ass artist, Chinese American, grew up both in China and America, had really rad art, said she'd been around like artists since she was like 12. So she's really been in her practice for decades now. And like
Sure.
you can just tell when somebody like knows and just has put in more than that 10,000 hours or whatever. So she was dope. Had Chelsea Carter, St. Louisan that lives in Chicago, was really popular, had a big moment over on Project Runway, career changing, trajectory changing for her and all of that. She spoke about, her passion, her craft, fashion, a little bit of tea on the Project Runway time. And then Shawnee Dez as well, Chicagoan, phenomenal musician, artist, just a cool motherfucker in general. She be out here in the streets too. She also does like this bike collective Black Joyride or whatnot that started over the pandemic. So with some really talented people. I was the house DJ, awesome crowd, sold out. It was a vibe, bro. It was a vibe. I definitely recommend people follow AMFM though. And if you're in Chicago and you're looking for a hotel to stay, try the Hoxton. It is a really good hotel.
Yeah, yeah. Alexia loves the Hoxton. We
Nice, nice, nice,
done the
nice. It's
Hoxton a few
definitely a vibe.
times. She
Mm-hmm.
loves the Hoxton. You mentioned before we get into it, Chinese American.
Mm-hmm.
I think on Wednesday, every so often Alamo has like a Alamo Draft House. They'll have a mystery movie,
Okay.
and they don't tell you what the movie is. They just tell you what it's about. And so it
Mm-hmm.
was like, a cool hip movie that's like about the triads that's like as definitive for gang, culture in China as like
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
Godfather is for mob movies in America. And
Mm-hmm.
it was a movie called The Mission.
I've heard of
And
that. I've heard of it. I
oh
haven't
my
seen it, but I've
god,
heard
that
of
shit
it.
was so fire, nigga. What?
Okay, okay,
That shit
okay,
was so
okay.
fire. It was like I'm not even gonna lie, it instantly became one of my favorite movies I ever seen. And
That's sick. Okay.
it's from like 1999 too, so it was cool to like go back to Hong Kong 1999. Not like I've ever
Okay,
been to Hong
definitely
Kong.
text me that because it's I be on my documentary tip. I was actually doing like a triad like documentary run a couple months ago. So like I
Mm,
know more about the history. It's a book I got in my wish list too. I'm gonna have to grab and like read about. But between like their connections from actual China over to like San Francisco, Chinatown, the first Chinatown in America, LA, the whole up and down West Coast really, and then what they had going on over in New York and in London. I'm like, yeah, this is a criminal organization that if you're at least into crime movies, I
yeah.
think you should probably tap in a little bit more. So please definitely text me that. Also, an asterisk. Hope you may or may not see this, but it's Hope Wang, not Yang. So I was very close, but I
Yeah.
just wanted to get the name right. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Shout out to Hope. Shout out to the mission. Shout out to all our Chinese
Mhm.
brothers and sisters. Shout out to Ema. He had just
Yeah.
sent me a wedding gift. He sent me some exclusive uh Just Don or
Oh,
whatever.
nice. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I'm gonna
That's
break that
tight.
out in the video. I'm gonna break that out in the video. Shout out to my
That's
boy.
hard. Okay, yeah. Shout out
Uh,
E.
1807. Shout out to them boys too.
Shout out 1807. Hell yeah.
You know,
Chinese century, baby.
you know what I'm saying? They don't know. They really don't know. Um, yeah, man. We've been gone for a little second. Since we've been gone, King James has returned to the court.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a lot of talk around the Lakers. I don't know for good,
Yeah,
for better, or for
yeah.
worse. But did you happen to see his season debut?
I did watch some of it. I damn near think that might have been the night of the event, so I was kind of in and out on my
Mhm.
phone. I did catch the highlights. I placed the parlay. He did the under, even though I bet it over on his points. But that's okay because from the assist was tight, the vision was tight. You could tell he still was sharp. It's just like his first game back, and he 40. So
Yeah,
like I super get it, but no, I mean, I also caught a little bit of Stephen A. Smith, like kind of praising the team and all that, like, oh, they there. But they look good. I mean, any team that has Luka Doncic on it at this point of his career and is playing in the NBA is likely a playoff contender anyway. But having LeBron around and now they got the offseason practice, familiarity, all that other stuff. They will likely go far, and as long as Luka stays healthy, he'll at least get them there. LeBron might not make an all NBA team this year because he probably gonna sit down and rest more. But if he's good and healthy for the playoffs and they got some continuity, I'm excited. I don't know if they'll beat the Thunder, but like I like it as a storyline, like going into the All-Star break and like everything that happens after. What you
yeah.
think though?
Oh, they have no chance against the Thunder. No
Yeah.
chance. No chance. The reason I say that is because
The Thunder look great though. They look really good.
I actually told Tanel, I was like, the Thunder, not the way that they play, but the way that they
Mm-hmm.
beat people, it reminds me of the Heat when the Heat were really good, where it was like,
Mm,
if you don't belong on the court, you're getting 20 ball minimum. Like if you
mm.
kind of your team trying to figure out, trying to continuity, y'all not super playoff level sharp.
Right, right,
You
right.
getting 20 ball. Anybody who can't step on the court, they 20 ball in them. Kind of
Yeah,
like when the
that's
Warriors, when the Warriors was like, it was like, damn, Steph
yeah.
Curry didn't even play in the fourth quarter because this is like, damn, you
You
getting
got
blew
to.
out. Y'all getting blew
Yeah,
out.
and he still got 30 points.
So it should be a good Laker season.
Mm-hmm.
For Laker fans, I'm a former Lakers fan. I was in
Mm-hmm.
the dynasty for a while. As
Okay.
as Team LeBron, it's a very interesting year because we don't know what's coming next, and that's usually the advantage you always have is Team LeBron, where it's like, well, we know what's coming next. We're gonna take the 1 year deal. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do
Right,
this. We're gonna
right,
do this.
right, right,
We don't
right.
really know, and it's very fun. I think people are starting to just appreciate the fact that he's even attempting to do this now. Uh, I think that the he'll never be the goat to the people that he won't be the goat to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
he's
yeah.
been amazing to watch for the young people that only know LeBron in the NBA.
Right, right,
You
right,
know what I
right,
mean? So
right.
and only can remember that. So it's great TV. What I will say is I want to give Adam Silver some love on something. So I have been purposely. This was the first year I didn't buy League Pass just because I was purposely like, let me just
Same.
see what's going on with all these, extra streaming services and all the other stuff. He is right. This is an amazing highlight league.
Mm.
The next day, he's putting up the 12, 10-minute
Oh
recap
yeah,
of
yeah,
the
yeah,
game.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm enjoying it. Like I said,
Mm-hmm.
12 hours later, hundreds of thousands of views.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They pumping
Oh,
them out.
they do the now people are stealing from and shout out to the OG YouTubers, OG NBA YouTubers, NFL YouTubers, because they were the ones that set this precedent.
Yeah,
Those
yeah,
creators.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, the last 10 minutes of a game. And then ESPN and the league started to do the same thing. Because I watched the NFL
Mm-hmm.
ones too. And
Mm-hmm.
they're right. If it's a Thursday night and I have to pick between watching Orlando play the Bulls, I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
watch Frankenstein. Period. I'm gonna watch
I
Frankenstein.
probably cut on Thursday night football, but I feel you. There are definitely
Okay.
different things that you need to be
The
watching.
Bills versus the Dolphins. I'm gonna
Yeah,
watch.
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
rewatch
Until that's
Strange
a
Things.
blowout, then I'm like, whatever.
I'm gonna
Now I'll watch a movie.
I'm gonna watch a movie. Just personally, you know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? I'm sitting here with my wife. Is she that into the rebuild of this random
Right,
team that they have
right,
on?
right,
No. No, she's
right,
not
right,
gonna wanna
right,
watch
right,
it.
right.
Is
Good game
Wembanyama
though.
playing? No, we're not gonna watch the Spurs game. Sorry.
No,
Um,
that's big real. That's big real. I mean, the pandemic was such a shift in media for so many different things, bro. Like I remember when that happened, and just like the influence. Of course, they were already posting highlights, but the NFL, NBA, like professional sports, got really good at making YouTube specific videos. And then when you get to clipping and other stuff, like you seeing the rise of it on TikTok and Instagram, places where you can see a lot of shorts, YouTube as well, those like quick hitting 15, 30 second, 60-second joints are really good too. And I think even with like the younger people, how they brought a lot of like humor and culture into some of their clips, especially on TikTok, like, oh my God,
fire,
hilarious, funny
fire.
clips, but it brings so much extra personality and storylines and things like that to the league that I think is important. And a lot of times the corporate guys don't always get that, but like they are paying attention, like you said. It's definitely
And
the OGs that kind of set that precedent for it, but that's
yeah,
good to see companies actually seeing what's happening on the ground level and actually bringing some of that into what they do.
yeah, because the corporations wanna maximize their owned channels.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I could say
Mm-hmm.
that again for anybody that's watching this that wants to get into social media, wants to get into corporate creative, wants to get into Hollywood, whatever. The
Mm-hmm.
corporations want to maximize their owned channels. And like you said, it's been a real, I don't even know what the word is, like shift, I guess, a seismic shift in what has happened for the sports leagues. I
Mm.
remember when the NFL was going through its thing where people didn't really want to go to the games. They'd rather watch at home because of
Yeah,
price,
yeah,
'cause of this,
yeah.
because of that. And what I think has happened because you have a group of young people that are looking for these in real life experiences, and in real life experiences are coming back. You have these leagues are hosting these huge local events.
Mm-hmm.
Big fans from across the country can watch specific teams. But that's the first step. That's the first bread and butter. Next, you just want to be available to everybody when it is live, accessible.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
the third thing is you want people to be able to watch it as soon as it's done.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And it's like
Yeah.
that's the 1 2 3 of formula right now for live sports. And I don't know. I mean, I think that, and that's why I wanted to come back to that part about Adam Silver and everybody saying that, oh, what are you saying, you don't want people to watch the games? No, I think he's just looking at the data and being super realistic that
Yeah,
young
yeah.
people, I'm a millennial. I'm not just watching appointment TV in the same way that I did before. How do you
Mm-hmm.
adapt? How do you make it happen? How do you still, I'm still a diehard NBA fan. And I'm a
Mm-hmm.
weird NBA fan because I'm an NBA fan in a non-NBA city.
Right,
So
right, right,
it's even
right.
harder to capture my dollars. It's even harder to capture my attention. And I
Yeah.
think that their emphasis on those highlights has done a really big, for me as a fan this year, like I said, who was buying league pass, it's expanded my fanmanship in a different type of way. So
No, for sure. I think also they have most of the leagues and these businesses, as we're essentially watching media shift too, because it's all about adapting to what, like you say, the reality of things actually is or whatnot. I think that many of them have adapted really well. Getting back into the quality experience, it's gonna be expensive. Everything expensive nowadays. I can't even be mad at the corporations because of inflation. Well, I'm mad at the corporations for how they pay us, not necessarily what they charge us. People's wages need to go up so people can afford things again. They're squeezing all that money at the top and whatever, whatever. But it'd be some decent experiences. You go to a live basketball game, a live football game. It's stuff that happens off. So I know that they're making money with that. Obviously, even though again, I think they should probably be paying more of their fair share in taxes and things like that. There's so many subsidies that cities give them, but there is some proof of economic, like influx from
yes.
having an arena and the development and all that happens. So not to get too much into that, but that's really cool for communities, cities, travel, tourism, et cetera, et cetera. But then I just wonder, they're signing great deals with big media conglomerates, so like everybody getting paid off of it. But I do kind of wonder what like the cost in like what that sort of like trajectory for cost is nowadays in profit versus like back in the day. Because there's so many people, you know, we work at ad, you talk to some OGs, there's like, bro, we make, especially like over at Leo, man, we was getting so much money in the 90s. We had private jets, this, that, and the third, crazy billboards on the side of buildings. It just was so much more money going around now. And these large corporations like the NBCs of the world, Google and Amazon, like, of course, they got fat ass deals to do whatever because they're also some of the largest, they're the largest tech companies in the world, as well as now being entertainment companies. So they making money that way. But like, I wonder what the ad dollar really looks like. Like a lot of times people complain about, you know, social media spend and what they making off of that versus like TV, but we're still seeing like that pendulum swing happen over to social and smartphones more and more, but there's still a lot of investment that goes into TV's not going to die.
Well,
It's
you
like a
make a
marquee thing now. So I'm like, I wonder what some of like the modern economics of that looks like actually, because I haven't seen the numbers of it. I just hear like anecdotes and stories of the good old days, but like it's kind of wild out here, man. And they adapting well, but them YouTube clicks and views don't always necessarily pay the same way that like actually getting 1 million people to watch the game on TV pays.
Well, that's an interesting point that you make because not that the NBA doesn't care how many people watch your ESPN, but
Mhm.
ESPN already paid them.
Right. Exactly.
So it's kind of like one of those things to where it's like it always behooves the networks to push the NBA product because the NBA did its part. Next
Mhm.
year they're going to get AJ. I don't even know how to say dude name. Number one prospect in college right now, BYU.
Okay.
They're going to get him for sure.
Oh,
Whoever
that
the,
kid. I got you.
whoever the
Okay.
European player is, they're going to get him for sure. They're
Mhm.
going to get the looks from all that. So the NBA is doing their part. They're collecting
Mhm.
all the best basketball players around the world. They're
Mhm.
facilitating them into these leagues. They're doing these licensing deals. They're doing all these different things. You know what I'm saying? Who wants to broadcast and show it? And to your credit, like we were talking about a couple episodes ago, ABC, I mean not ABC,
Mhm.
NBC,
Mhm.
Amazon, you know what I'm saying? All of them trying to step their game up, trying
Yeah.
to capture that NBA fan. And I think, and now this is just my prediction. I think that the NBA broadcasters are mistaken by trying to do like these deep dives into the game, into the plays, right?
Really?
They want to
Okay.
treat it like the NFL, right? Football
Mm.
is an all a tactical game where personalities matter less,
Yeah.
right? Personalities matter less, like especially the NFL.
Yeah.
Shador, you have a great personality. We need you to have a high passer rating. There's
Right.
no actual really fun and drama in watching him go out there and I'm just making up a stat. If he goes 5 for 15. No
Right.
drama in that unless the team wins. He out there playing like Tebow. You know what I'm saying? Tebow was like, you know what I mean?
Right. And I think you could do more of that on the college level, but when it comes to the pros and
Can't do that.
everybody good, like
Can't do that. And so NBA is, oh man, people want to go see Trey Young go out there, have a stinker,
mhm.
see the presser,
Mhm.
see what he's gonna say, come to practice the next day. Like the NBA week, basketball is that way. We're watching people do one-on-one basketball games now.
Yeah.
Like that is inherently in the culture of basketball. And
Mhm.
so I think when you struggle with the storylines, when we watched NBC before and you would watch Bob Costas, and
Mhm.
I'm gonna go back now. I wasn't watching this, but I've seen enough clips. When they had Bill Russell on there, they
Oh,
had
wow.
Chamberlain on there. Dr. J used to be on NBC. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
they're trying to recreate that, but it's about the
Mhm.
storyline. I don't care what offense Memphis is running. I care about the storyline in the locker room drama of John Morant and how that goes into Triple J and how that plays into the GM and how that does XYZ.
So
Because
I feel like I've seen that on Amazon. I haven't been watching so much ESPN basketball lately, but I
yo,
have seen
they're
that on and NBC as well. Like I've seen some of them kind of like nod a little bit too. Like I remember specifically seeing a clip of Carmelo and like Tracy McGrady talking about John Morant or
Yeah,
whatever.
and that's why
Like,
I said
young fella,
I like
like
that.
chill.
I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. But ESPN is trying to like double down, and now they're doing like ESPN has terrible storylines. Just
Yeah, that's
narrative,
always been their
just
thing
for
for
the
a while.
game. It's just a bad narrative. I don't know why it's so bad. I don't know why it's so uninteresting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it is. It's super uninteresting.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's the host of characters, like the cast of characters that they got. Like they can't figure out like a system of a
Yeah,
good
yeah,
enough
yeah, yeah.
people, but I don't know. I just think that like NFL, the way that you talk about baseball, the way that you talk about football, the way you talk
Mm-hmm.
about basketball, it's not
Mm-hmm.
formulaic. It's all dipped in sport culture, that sports culture.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And so I understand the need to or the want to be like, we're gonna analyze the game and we're not gonna get caught up in the drama and the LeBron versus Jordan and who's this and all these
Right,
arguments.
right.
But something Stephen A. Smith said that even I think that he was right about, and I haven't agreed with a lot Stephen A. Smith has done lately. But he was like, people ask, why do I keep these conversations? Because people talk about it. People are
Right.
always going to have the debates. That is what sports debate. That's why it's fun. I
Mm-hmm.
get that it can be a little bit much, but some people, that's what they want to talk about. That's what they want to hear about. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that ESPN should dive deeper into their productions, like 30
Mm-hmm.
for 30,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
shows
yeah.
that they used to have, focus more on that. Focus a little less on being like sports Twitter,
Right,
you know?
right,
It's
right,
becoming
right, right. No,
sports
for
live Twitter
sure.
debate.
No, I got a little choked up seeing the Stuart Scott 30 for 30. I will absolutely be watching that one. I'm
Mhm.
like, damn. That's childhood nostalgia. He was in the Raise the Roof video, bro. Like,
Bro,
come on, man.
bro.
We're talking real like cultural stuff right there. But now I agree. Even while you were talking about that, you said production. I'm thinking of like the N1 mixtape tour show. Like I would, like that type of stuff. I think they had a football. It wasn't the same version of that, but they had like a football reality show as well growing up. They
Mhm.
had more engagement with like action sports, like the X Games and the skateboarding and all that stuff was a little more incorporated. They absolutely, and I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it probably is still cheaper to produce those than it is to have a whole ass studio set up for what 18-hour news cycle.
Right.
Like, yeah, because we don't need Pat McAfee or Stephen A. Smith to be 3 hours long in the morning. We don't need that. A good block, I'll take some good news, yada yada yada. But like when we get into about 11 to about 5, yeah, we can get into some good TV programming right there.
That's
Because the news is gonna come through. I mean, maybe a highlight or like cut the presses for like a big like if LeBron was like he actually is gonna retire this year and he said that in the middle of the day, like, give me that, a big trade if Luca would have happened right then and there. I'll take that. But like actual production, they can even bring some stuff out the vault. Nostalgia's popping right now. Like
yeah.
the kids may actually eat some of that stuff up and it'll save them some money. But yeah, that and hiring some different talent. I'm not that hardcore. I see people talk crazy shit about some of the personalities over there. I don't really hate anybody. I've definitely sometimes been bored with people or they'll say some head ass shit and it's just kind of like whatever. But I mean, the person I dislike the most in sports media is fucking Chris Collinsworth, Sunday Night Football. I hate listening to that motherfucker talk.
Mm.
And I think he'd actually be awesome to like have a drink with at the bar, but I hate him as a TV commentator, bro. I'm sure he got some sick ass stories though, and I rock with the accent, but I don't like his perspective. I don't want to hear Stephen A. Smith yelling for fucking more than 60 minutes, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like maybe 2 hours if they really think that. But yeah, I think the over reliance on like being breaking news, like Shams don't need to be on every time something small happen, bro. Like
Right.
I don't even like seeing them. I miss Woj. Have fun, man. Get your rest, Woj. But I don't dislike Shams, but it's like
You know what the
he.
rumor is, don't you?
You say who?
You know what the rumor is, don't you?
No.
The the rumor is that Woj runs that NBA Centil page.
Oh yes, I've seen those speculations on Twitter,
That
and
is
I love it
hilarious.
because he do it. Centel been kind of hitting
Centil
ahead
be
of the curve
Centil is
a
hard, man.
lot. Yeah,
That's one of
so
the hardest pages out right now.
yeah, and I think that is why talent is so important and like getting the right talent because it's funny that you even brought this up because I found myself on YouTube and like my background stuff. I'm listening to Dan Patrick over on NBC Sports more than I'm watching the ESPN clip these days.
I'm
I don't
watching
know if
Dan
it was some of like the
Levitard.
YouTube, bro. It's like, and I mean, I like those guys too, but ESPN used to have such a concentration of my time and attention. And definitely, I think after the YouTube TV thing, like 2 weeks, and when you need to be constantly on 2-3 weeks, it's like, oh, I don't really need ESPN like that. I
Well,
cut it off for my games, but I don't need y'all commentary.
I think something that you just hit, and maybe they were hesitant of it because then you feel like salaries continue to skyrocket. But
Mm-hmm,
I think
mm-hmm,
that them having the sportscaster show,
mm-hmm,
excuse me, the sports journalist show was the route.
mm.
You had, I mean, back when it was cold pizza, right? But you had
That was a good era. Yeah, yeah.
okay, but let's just go first take because let's keep it just modern.
OG
First take,
first take. Yeah.
yeah, but just first take, Pat McAfee. But then if Dan
Mm-hmm.
Patrick came on, and then Dan Lebatard show came on, and then Pablo Torres show came on, and then Jamel Hill show came on, and then by
I
that
would have
time you
rocked
had
with that.
NFL Today, NBA Today, and then you see what I'm saying? With
Yeah,
they
I would have rocked with that.
they
Yeah.
created this talent. It's almost like people, and I think that's something that people even struggle with. Like, people were questioning Pablo Torres, like,
Mm-hmm.
which is it's like almost as if like they can't decipher between news, investigative news, and scandal.
Right, right,
They're
right,
like, "Are
right,
you
right,
just
right.
creating scandal?" I'm like, "No, he's just investigating something
Yeah,
and
that's actually
sharing."
what he does for real, for real.
He's
Like,
sharing the investigation. That he's not. These aren't like his thoughts.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
He's
exactly.
sharing the investigation with you all, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm saying. Like the people I just named, Jamel Hill, Michael Smith, Bomani Jones, Dan Lebatard, all these
Mm-hmm.
people, they cut them. And
Yeah,
that
yeah,
is what you have. You have a sports columnist. You have sports
yeah,
columnists
yeah,
that you
yeah, yeah.
aggregate the best columnists so that
Mm-hmm.
people come for these opinions. And
Mm-hmm.
we talked about it a little bit before. What ESPN jumped on the bandwagon of doing is prioritizing the athlete over the journalist.
Yep,
And
yep,
that's why
yep,
the
yep.
show is not that good because Ryan Clark is not an entertainer. Ryan
Right,
Clark
right, right.
is a smart football player.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He's all these different things, but he doesn't have that pedigree of the history that you learn when you go to
Yeah,
journalism school, when you go to
exactly,
film school, go
exactly.
to music school. It's just a different level. When you go to art school, there's a
Right,
different
right,
level of
right.
pedigree that you get in the same way that we don't have because we weren't in practice watching film with him. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
exactly, exactly,
We can't
exactly.
analyze football as good as him. We just can't.
Right, right. I don't know where it came from because in my head I'm like maybe it was the rise of social media and because now you also see athletes with the huge platforms being able to push back. Everybody wasn't reading the sports columns in the paper all the time. So it's a little more insular. Like if you really into sports radio, because those controversies would be ongoing back in the
Every day.
day, but it wouldn't be widespread where everybody got access to it now. But
It's local.
all right, if
Very
LeBron
local.
want to be like fuck Stephen A. Smith now, like that's a big deal, and everybody sees that happen in the open, or they got you on camera and then they talking about themselves. So they definitely adapted to like the modern, I guess, media landscape. But you make a really good point about the journalists because like that was a thing, and like ESPN.com, they premium, they still get money with that. Like for actual either sports writers who take the information then go post it on their stuff, or for real heads. I've met a couple older brothers that's like, probably more Gen X or whatever, but they used to reading the news and like, yeah, they paying them premium prices for ESPN. You get all the other perks behind it. So you have like a real core sports audience, if you will, that's willing to pay for that. But if they really want to get to that mainstream widespread audience, they definitely need to bring some of them people back. I don't know if it's also trying to maintain relationships with leagues and players or what else, but that juice and drama that come from investigative journalism, because what outside the lines, not even I ain't seen that in a minute. Is that
Yeah,
done?
I don't know if Outside the Lines is still a show. I To
Yeah.
your point though, what they try to do as a production company is it's kind of similar to what Paramount is claiming or Viacom is claiming and ABC is coming with the late night shows,
Mm-hmm.
right? You say before ESPN's model was okay, we made these shows
Mm-hmm.
and we hire these journalists, rotation of journalists to kind of propagate the shows and keep the news cycle kind of going. To your
Right.
point, 2020 happened, and the demand for the creator changed, and things started to
Mhm.
become creator focused. And so now, if you Bomani Jones, if you Pablo Torre, if whoever you are, now you can have your own show. You don't
Right,
need
right, right,
ESPN to
right.
tap in daily to have your own show. Very similar to, like you said, how sports radio was more so on a local format. And of course, you had
Mhm.
national sports radio news, but you had your Chicago guy, your St. Louis guy, your Milwaukee.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
That's how you
yeah.
tap into it, and then you will watch ESPN to see what's going on nationally. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I think that ESPN made a mistake not bringing some of these creators back. You know what I'm saying? These
That's
OG
real.
creatives, and empowering them and saying, "Dan Patrick, here's your 2-hour show. So and so, here's your 2-hour show."
Mm.
Now they did it with Stephen A. Smith, but like
Mhm.
Stephen A. Smith is just one type of journalist. He's one type of columnist. You know what
Right, 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 right. And I think he's actually a pretty decent writer for real, for real. Like he could get
Yes.
into a scathing, like his
Bill
personality shines through his
Simmons.
writing too. And
Bill
I rock with him
Simmons.
for that.
ESPN should fucking own the Ringer. They should be partners. He
Mm.
left ESPN, started the Ringer. The Ringer is now on Samsung TV, bro. Like that's what I'm working towards. That's what we're working towards. They have a channel on Samsung now.
That's crazy. Yeah, and that's the new that's kind of what we were talking about offline or whatever. Just like Buddy talking about how these different brands are now building more and more of their own studios because they can sell their IP to the big platform. Like, I mean, yeah, you could be a production house and sell something to NBC or ABC for a TV deal back in the day. That used to be it, but now the new TV networks and platforms are your Netflixes of the world, are your Amazon Primes of the world. And if it's something that they really love it and they want to push it and not just like place it on there, but actually push it, they got the marketing budget to make sure y'all do y'all press run, get some really good cut ups and clips and all the different PR placements and everything you need to really promote the show. But yeah, that's a shift happening right now. It it'll be interesting to see. I think that there's enough talent out there across the country. Like it's a lot of people that work in the film and entertainment production industry. Also, I did a quick little side thing, part of my ADHD brain. Outside the Lines got it ended in 2022 during the pandemic. So they did get rid of that too.
You're
So
right.
yeah,
You're right.
yeah. So, and we're in this democratized UGC kind of era of content anyway, where you can make millions of dollars with your own YouTube channel. You don't need to be on ESPN. But I think one, for a lot of people, there's still a level of prestige that goes into it and clout that comes with being on a particular thing. But also it's bigger money and better production, bro. Like the same way right now we're in this UGC trend thing kind of happen, there will be a pendulum swing, and I'm starting to see some of it kind of pop up in trend reports and things like that, where they're talking about adding a little extra gloss to your stuff so it could at least make it look like you care. You still don't want to necessarily be like inauthentic. Still be yourself, still dress how you dress. You don't have to like go worry about no budget, but adding a little gloss on. But that's just step one before the people want more and more of this. It always just go back and forth. That's just kind of how we are as humans. But we're seeing the increase moving into a direction of like, all right, it's time to make this shit look nice again. And when you got them fat ass production budgets, you can really make it look sexy. So
Yes.
we're seeing that while we're seeing like this transition with fashion and everything to kind of a little more suit and tie, more proper, less streetwear, more quarter zips, if you will, and things of that nature. But that's what I love the content, by the way. It's hilarious to me. But
Yeah.
the thing is with some of this stuff, like it may start as performative, but like as you continue to perform in this way, it becomes your reality by simply acting and doing. The same way niggas talk about it with art and all this other shit. If you say that, and I don't love it because I do believe you got to put in the work, but by performing actively, you are putting in some semblance of the work. Now, how authentic and genuine you become depends on how much of the work you actually put in long term. But it's like, yeah, if you a quarter zip nigga because you be wearing quarter zips all the time, I can't say you're not a quarter zip nigga. If you want to mock it up with the matchas and you go to the library now or book clubs and shit like that instead of the club, like you are actively not being whatever else that you were trying to reject. you're actually like incorporating yourself into it, you got to be accepted and truthful within that community too, and not just wear a cape. But especially for younger people, more so than like a fucking 20 or 30 something on some trendy shit. But like for a teenager, it's like, bro, you like, it's like being an emo kid for a few months to me.
But you hit on something that is, I guess, because we were those types of kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were the kids that weren't on the most popular nigga trend. I don't
Yeah,
know.
we did
I don't know
our
how
own
else to
thing.
say that. I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah, no, I
But we
got you.
were
I got
still cool,
you.
right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, so many kids who don't want to be on the main trend still feel the need to like share and participate a trend, but it doesn't feel
Mm-hmm.
like they have a personal hobby, a personal
Mm,
interest. It
mm.
seems more like you said, performative.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I think that's what throws older people off when they see like kids crying at an NBA YoungBoy concert. It's because they're not performative.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
listen to that music and you say there's no way that you couldn't see the gimmick in this.
Right, right,
And they're
right, right,
actually
right.
connecting with it because they don't have music that they could connect with because they don't have a Kendrick Lamar in their age group.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
don't have
yeah,
a J.
yeah.
Cole. They don't have a Wale. They don't have a Drake. Those are all
Right,
4 different kind of artists.
right, right, right,
You
right.
know what I'm
For
saying?
someone like young boy YB, he's a rapper. Like, yes, he's a hip hop artist, but that's a blues artist too,
It's a
bro. He
blues artist,
really
like
from
Rod
like
Wave.
dirt road country, small town Louisiana, poverty
He could have been in
struggle.
Sinners.
Exactly, bro. Exactly, bro. He really could have been like a damn cameo in Sinners for real, for real. And though, I mean, on a content level, I'm not a big supporter of young people listening to that particular type of music when it comes to the violence and all the ratchetry. But also, I've been young before, and young people, I mean, shit, nigga, I wasn't 21 when I lost my virginity. I'll just say that much, you know. So they live lives like most of the time. I've come to find out that people who smoke weed have started smoking their weed and doing their drums and partying, if you will. We'll just call it all partying. They were doing that in high school, so like it is still something that can connect to them. And I think also the emotions that you get hormonally as a teenager. I definitely cried a few nights and was listening to some sad ass music and trying to figure out where the hell I am in the world as a teenager. Like that literally is a biological fact that you will have emotional highs and lows as a teenager. So I can understand why I connect with them on a soulful and personal level, you know, going in through in and outs of love and relationships and family and can't trust people and all this other stuff. And that's all they got. Like you say, they don't have their Kendricks and Drakes and all of that, at least not yet. So he kind of he soaks up and he's a reason for a lot more people to lean on, I guess, because they don't really have too many alternatives out there these days. On the other side, you do have you see a lot of performative trap and like street rap going on. It's like all y'all look and sound the same, bro. None of y'all really stand out, and you might just get a hot song or two because your career and your discography not gonna be that deep.
Yep.
But yeah, I think part of it with the performativeness with younger people is the fact that they just grew up on the internet, bro. And I think it kind of just to me is a byproduct of like growing up in a world of trending topics and meme culture where everybody is planking or doing the Black Beatles challenge or TikTok dances and sounds nowadays. Like it's all these different things where that's just kind of what the kids do. And that's not to say that we didn't follow trends. Ours were just a lot more like compartmentalized and like siloed because there was no social media to access everything. So in
Right.
order for you to kind of be like within a community, you know, I don't know if you were an NSYNC girly versus a fucking Backstreet Boys girly,
Spice
like you
Girls.
had to really legit be on that. And like it was, I grew up when those cliques, they wasn't like hard beefing, but they was soft beefing about who the better boy band was. And I imagine maybe within like K-pop spaces right now, there's still some sort of like ledger of that, but so much of that stuff is interactive and immersed online as opposed to like magazines and posters. You got wallpapers now and like fucking Discord communities and
Yeah.
like hashtags to like go up under or whatever. So I think it's a little bit different for them just how they interact with media and culture. Not to say that I think that it's awesome. I do like more of the nostalgia thing, and like in seeing young people get off the internet and use old smartphones and fucking community themselves into like really going outside and touching grass. But the internet is here. Like we're not getting rid of it. The
Mhm.
AI thing, like it's they building trillions of dollars of infrastructure for this shit. It's not just gonna go away. I definitely still believe in a bubble, but all of that to say, like how things are today or how they are today. But it's crazy seeing those different parallels for real, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something I kind of, since we in the sports, let's deep dive here.
Okay.
I'm announcing now. I want to do another episode where we talk strictly about the AI, the intellectual property. The record labels have, you know,
That's the
I
thing.
want to talk about that separately because
Yeah, yeah,
we
yeah,
send a
yeah.
lot of
No,
stuff
that's
back and forth
definitely a
about
thing.
music,
Hmm.
and I'm a real cynic when it comes to like the music industry and just like that bubble of just like what they're actually doing and how
Hmm.
music industry actually really works.
Hmm.
And I feel like the misconstrued narratives that people create around these artists. And let's I want to get into that. I think that's a deeper conversation,
Yeah,
especially
yeah, yeah,
DJ.
yeah.
We
No,
get into that.
definitely. We'll definitely have to touch on one of
But
those.
Steph Curry
Hmm.
has left Under Armour. And I
Yes,
would like
yes,
to
yes,
definitely
yes,
touch
yes.
on that. That'd be our last topic here. I kind of just want to know, like, are we about to see like a Fila type of situation, a British
Oh,
Knights type of situation where we see Under Armour just kind of be here and then be gone?
I don't, I don't know. It was the video that you sent me. I liked it. They did get young people. I think that there are a lot of young people in the Midwest as opposed to like going for the coast like Nike and Adidas tends to do. They hit a lot of those cultural capitals. I think Under Armour is a solid Midwestern, not too swaggy shoe that still can make you feel a little cool and culturally aligned. It'll be interesting to see what that looks like once Steph Curry is like once like the smoke clears of Steph Curry leaving because they really ain't got no clout with the athletes right now. I don't be loving their commercials at all. Them or New Balances, but I like New Balances a little bit more at least. Like they got a little cultural cachet. Under Armour don't even got no fly ass like lifestyle component to that shit for real. They just went in heavy on performance. So maybe actually now that I think about it, maybe they might. I don't know, man, because also like the whole in that video as well, talking about how the owner, the CEO, whatever, he was like kind of talking about he was pro Trump or whatever in 2016. I remember that moment. I was like, y'all lame for real, bro. And I know Steph Curry and them they like had to speak out. Like, I don't necessarily agree
Oh,
with this
Steph.
particular
He didn't
thing.
want the low income housings built.
He that ain't him. He grew up rich too though. He
I
ain't
know,
never been
I know,
around broke
I
niggas.
know. I'm
He
teasing.
just played with him at AAU.
I'm
No, but
teasing.
I
I'm
mean,
teasing.
it definitely is giving MAGA shoe right now. I say that much. It's definitely giving more of like a MAGA shoe type of vibe. So I don't know how they do it because who else you really gonna recruit and bring over? I go to Converse right now with SGA over there as opposed to going to Under Armour.
And it's like under Nike too, so you feel like you might have a better infrastructure as well too.
Mm-hmm,
This is what
mm-hmm.
I'll say about Under Armour, and it might be common sense. This is something I've learned. Shout out to PR, one of my
Okay.
bosses. He always says, invite common sense to the meeting.
Mm.
If your brand name is Under Armour, and now you're trying to make shit for people to wear, I guess if the armor is the jersey,
Mm-hmm.
above the armor, outside the armor,
Type shit. Over Armour.
you know what I'm saying? It's a little conflict there.
Right, right, right,
You see what
right.
I'm saying? And to your point, when Under Armour first came out, Under Armour was tight because when accessories weren't as like now, I'll date myself some, right? I was an athlete in the early 2000s, right?
Okay.
The aughts. That's when my majority of my athletic was right there. You
Mm-hmm.
didn't I mean, you could find a Nike undershirt, maybe you could find little bitty pieces, but it felt so much more tied to the sport. And they didn't
Mm-hmm.
go down the deep dive of leg sleeve, the shooting shirts, just for basketball, to this. You can get a headband, some socks, you know what I'm saying? The bare minimum. So when
Man.
Under Armour came out and it's like, oh, I can get like all this kind of performance gear, That's
Mhm.
why it was cool, because it was like, damn, Ray Lewis is wearing it. Like, this is what he wearing under the jersey, the
Right, right,
sweat,
right.
you know what I'm saying, to perform in. So I'm just not performing in a cotton t-shirt, right? You know, nothing wrong with the cotton t-shirt, but then when dry
Mhm.
fit came out, when all these different
Mhm.
technologies came out, as an athlete, it's kind of like a musician. You always want the new technology. You always want the new shit.
Right, 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 right,
And
right, right.
so when they started to move away from that and wanted to move more into aesthetics, like you said, kind of, even if you look at New Balance used to be in basketball, left,
Mhm.
came back. You know what I'm saying? Because they had to couple that with a lifestyle aesthetic.
Yep, yep, yep,
That,
yep.
oh damn, I'm Kawhi Leonard, but I'll wear some Joe Freshgood shoes.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It
It's
ended up
no,
being a winning moment. I didn't love what it looked like, but it was great for the brand. Shout out Joe Fresh Goods again. Man
you know what I'm
has not
saying?
missed.
The man does not miss. You know what I'm saying? And so Under Armour got Tom Brady, Steph Curry, couldn't figure out how to make something sexy.
Yeah, they had
That's
Cam
what I'm
Newton too,
saying.
didn't they?
Who?
Didn't they have Cam Newton too?
Cam Newton.
Yeah, yeah. They
All
had
three of
some
these guys, unfashionable, not cool.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of dressing, nobody wants to dress
Mm-hmm.
like Cam Newton or Tom Brady or
No,
Steph
no,
Curry.
no, 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 no,
You know what I'm
no.
saying?
My boy
But
looked like the man had it most of the time.
boy, but you would wear Tom Brady socks, because these
Yes,
are the socks
absolutely.
that I use. You would wear, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like they got away from that. That we are Under Armour. We're here to protect. We're here to serve. We're here to. It is a MAGA brand. You know what I'm saying? The Rock was wearing it.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
The police officers, that they would make like the police gear, and to me,
Yeah.
that makes sense because
Curry.
it's performance.
Yeah, no, and Curry has said some. He ain't never really been pro-Trump, but I think he was even willing to maybe at a certain point go to the Trump White House or something when they won, or like he said some things. So it's like, bro, not super left-leaning either. I think they have very MAGA-friendly athletes over there. Cam
You
Newton,
know,
country and ignorant, love him. One of my favorite fucking football players from that era. But like, bro, yeah, they mag it up.
you
They
know
mag it
that
up. That's really their niche.
that's their niche.
It's,
Cam
it's
Newton
such
is
a
like,
small niche, and you don't really bring in as many people who want to buy things to look cool or fashionable or any of this other stuff. It damn near hell, New Balance was a MAGA brand. Damn near still is slightly, but they killed it on lifestyle. They
killed it
killed
on
it on
lifestyle.
cultural shit. Like Under Armour ain't got no way to do that though.
And
They
so
ain't got no juice.
they got no juice. And so I think that they just lost the plot. You know, I know that they bought, like, you know, the app trying to get into the running and the fitness.
Mm-hmm,
You know what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying? But then that's just them jocking swag. Like I said, you Under Armour. It should
Right.
be all about, to the point to where I don't even know if I would want to have signature athletes, because I want to figure out a way to get LeBron to wear Under Armour.
Right,
What's the
right,
one
right.
piece of thing? Maybe we make a cold ass a cold ass knee brace. We make a cold
Mm-hmm.
ass ankle bracelet because it's going
That would be
Under Armour.
tight. That would be
And now
tight.
we got LeBron wearing Under Armour, because you see what I'm saying? Once they
Yeah,
try
we're
to,
not a competitor. We're
we're
not a
not a
competitor.
competitor. It's
We
a
just
we
got the
serve a
technology.
different,
Yeah.
because even Nike stuff, it just ends up being generic. I don't know how much
Mhm.
more they're putting into like their under the clothes, the dry
Yeah,
fit.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Who
yeah.
knows how much more they're putting into it? At a certain point, it just becomes branding, and that's not their
Mhm,
whole
mhm.
thing. Under Armour was like, this is our whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Brita is not Fiji.
Right, right, right,
It's
right, right.
Brita.
Right,
And niggas
exactly,
who fuck with
exactly.
Fiji, niggas who drink tap water, all can fuck with Brita. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where Under Armour actually really lost the mission, the vision. You know what I'm
You
saying?
know, I wholeheartedly agree with you, bro. And I know we about to. I know you got your show and all of that. I'll just close with this though. I think it kind of goes back. We've touched on it from time to time or whatever, but it is one, my phrase I always tend to say, capitalism kills culture, but also capitalism kills corporations nowadays too, bro. Like
Mm.
I think it's at the point where we kind of reached peak capitalism. There's studies out there that's even showing that like younger people, like especially college age young people, are rejecting capitalism and leaning more into socialism, at least from like a philosophical perspective. And like, does this actually sound appealing to you? Universal healthcare, et cetera, et cetera. Because yes, it should feel like that. These are common sense things that socially society should be able to afford and provide for people, especially when you have companies worth trillions of dollars and you're looking at a person that could possibly be the world's first trillionaire by the end of the decade. It's like, what are we doing? Not giving people universal health insurance, that college education. That's stupid.
bro.
Anywho, no, growth. It's all about growth. And I remember kind of because I remember when you mentioned Ray Lewis, I was like, oh shit, Ray Lewis, will you protect this house? I
I
will.
will.
I
I
will.
will.
That
That
shit
was
was
hard.
hot, and they had an era, but they were thinking about growth. How can we expand within the category? How can we acquire more consumers as opposed, and we're seeing this thing right now, especially us as content creators and podcasters and all this shit, like pick your niche. You can grow after you have your niche in your lane and expand it. And maybe they did, but also when you're a corporation and you're trying to expand because you have investors and all this other stuff, it's a little bit different than being like Mr. Beast and like launching a cookie brand, like
Can I interject too, real quick? Because
what's up?
something that you just said, when Under Armour was growing, and that's
Mhm.
you hit it right on like the sweet spot. Under Armour was growing, especially for like a closed merchandise brand, especially
Mhm.
when you want to have a high return on investment and you want to
Mhm.
buy in bulk and do all this other stuff. I remember when their growth was coming, Nike had put out what they called the Nike Elite socks. And
Oh
it was just
yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah,
socks with the
yeah.
joints on the back. Niggas just wanted
Mhm.
it because they had the jing on the back, and
Mhm.
it
It did
felt a
look
little bit
cool.
more padded.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah,
to your
yeah.
point. That was them. The sock.
Mhm.
Nobody
Mhm.
owns the sock. Nobody owns the sport
Mhm.
underwear. These under like no, and that's what I'm saying. Like that was it
Yeah, 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 yeah.
as a
And
brand.
now you're forced to grow and how do we make more money? Everything is more, more, more. And as an advocate of personal and self growth, I think there's always a way that you can push yourself more and more. But that's the big thing that we need to bring back. Like, fuck Citizens United. Corporations are not people, bro. They do not deserve a voice in politics. They do not they do not need to try to like have voices online. I hate when I see particular brands on their social media like channels say we or I. Like Complex does it all the time, as if you're the person. I get it. It might even translate into this thing where psychologically the person is reading the caption and internalizing it, but it looks like such a try hard, inauthentic move to talk about me in the club, and it's just like a weekend post from Complex. Like, bro, stop it, man. And I think that's the thing. These people are trying to do too much. We also have a lot of cornballs that are in executive positions that are doing a lot of corny and cheesy shit and hire a lot of corny and cheesy people. But I think the future of this corporate America tip capitalism is to kind of know your limits, bro. And if you grow, it got to make sense, not just like trying something new. Innovation is dead. Staying in your lane is in right now.
Mm,
But that'd be me, especially
damn,
with a down economy coming.
that was good. That was good. Hey, look, for people who care right now, get out of debt. Okay. Stay with your family.
Real.
All right. And get offline. You know, I can't speak for other ethnicities. Okay. But it ain't never been a president that, you know, wasn't doing some crazy shit to black people. We got
Yeah.
lucky for 8 years. Obama was, better than the rest for sure, the niggas. I'll give him that. You know what I'm saying? What Pusha T say? White House opened its doors even though I was a criminal. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right, right.
So, but
Trump do it all the time now, but that's
that's
another one.
another kind of criminal. Okay. And so that's all I'm saying. Like, don't get caught up in the narratives. Lock into your local government.
Mm.
Lock into your local government. Care about your local public school system. Okay.
Real.
Care about the transportation and the sanitation department in your local. Make sure that you're signing up to say no data center so your heat bill don't go up. Right. That's where you can lock in. I understand that there's a whole bunch of other stuff going on. We can't control that. Stop spending so much damn money. Lock in with your family. Lock into local government. And maybe we might make it out of the holidays. We might make it out.
Type shit. Because 2026 is gonna be crazy.
Oh my God. The best season of America is coming up.
And it turns 250 next year. We
That's what I'm
absolutely
saying.
know.
The
Yeah,
best season of America is coming
it's
up.
gonna be a crazy boy.
I hope I'm here
Oh
for
man.
season 300 of America.
Yeah, World War III might kick off next year the way that they got shit happening.
That's a whole nother episode. So look, y'all, we're gonna do our best. It's the
Oh,
holidays.
man.
All the agencies are busy right now. Everybody
Yeah.
trying to keep their job. We gonna stay locked in. We're gonna stay locked in. Okay, we're gonna be back. We love y'all.
Oh man.
Talk to y'all soon. We probably won't. I'll put this out before Thanksgiving, so you probably won't hear from us. But happy Thanksgiving.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving.
Shout out to the indigenous people.
Always.
I'll just say
Always.
that. Wherever, it don't matter where you are. Just shout out to the indigenous people.
Yeah, it's really happy eat a good meal and hang out with your family, your loved ones today.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll be celebrating Stranger Things. So
Yeah.
peace to y'all.
See y'all very soon. Peace.